now I know when something happens in our lives that is unexpected, you have to go into it in order to ever have any hope of coming through it. So when you go, guess what? When you come out the other side, you grow.
Brought out more in me than I thought that I didn't even know that I had.
That has given all of us a great hope for what we can do with our own messages, our abilities to deliver, but most importantly, to deliver it in an authentic and very, very intriguing way.
Have you ever been in something or felt something where the only way you felt you could deal with it was to leave, get away? I thought that was the meaning of control. It took me 4.5 years to stop looking around the room of my life, of my journey, of my purpose, digging in cushions for a remote that never existed. Looking, re-looking, going back and upgrading, bringing in and pulling out things that do not serve you must go. Those things out in this world that are designed to bring us down, to keep us down, put their foot on our neck and whisper to us that we're never good enough, they don't whisper. They yell at us from all directions, top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, side to side, corner to corner, corner to corner, 365 days. When somebody asks you about yourself, don't you dare whisper. When they ask you to raise your hand, don't you dare half raise it. When they ask you something good about you, you scream it with all you have. Come on now, get up, get up. Tell me who you are. Show me who you are. Greatest truth of all, that not everyone has to remain lost. Good morning. Gotta love it. We are here, everybody. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'll talk about this in a minute. Dr. Loren with you. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. You know. Okay, get out of my head, Pointer Sisters. Anyway, it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Rain yesterday, and I was so grateful because, I have those 25 new trees out on the side, and I'm tired of turning that soaker hose on. Right? So thank you, universe. Thank you, source, for taking care of that for me. And today, it's a beautiful day in the Chicagoland area. How are things shaping up in your neck of the woods? Al Roker, get out of my head. I say that so that they don't sue me for, stealing their intellectual content. You never can tell nowadays. Anyway, great show lined up for you today. But first, welcome to the show, my sidekick, y'all. She's been here 11 years. This is my girl. Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Love me some Lucy. Remember that commercial about, what was that? Some tooth stuff. Some kind of toothpaste. And they go, got a potty mouth? Clean it up. And she goes, and it goes, sparkle on her teeth. You remember that? These references. They need a book of references for people that are over 40. You heard me say it the other day on the show how last year I was in a restaurant and they were playing a Mariah song. Mariah Carey got that one Christmas song. They played it. They just played it to death, right? So I was like, I like that song, but what's your favorite Whitney Houston Christmas song? And the girl goes, who? Calling me stooped. I'm like, are you kidding? It's not like it's 40 years ago. But anyway, I am an alien to this world. I am 64 in a few days. Well, 4th of July. Dun, 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 dun. I'll be 64. But I'm an alien, you guys, to this world. These young people, like our guest today, he's young. They are indigenous. He knows how to do stuff on his phone that I don't. What is my phone? Oh, here it is. See what I mean? I got to put a string on it just to keep up with it, let alone all the things in here. And it does so many things that I don't use. Now, for instance, we're going to ask my guest today. You guys remind me to ask him. Have you seen those kids who can text without looking at it? How do they do that? There's no bumps or anything on there like a typewriter. Like the old IBM Selectrics. Loved me some IBM Selectric typewriters, y'all. But they're just sitting there going, and I'm still doing this. And getting most of the letters wrong. So I'm just saying, they are indigenous. This is their world. They're moving it into an even greater new world. We're going to talk about that today because we have a gentleman here. His name is Lee. I'm not even going to try that last name, but I love OVE, the last three letters, because that's the last three letters of the word love. And he's known as Lee Lovely. Plus, he's bringing shawls back. That's all I'm going to say about it. Not to be confused with the poncho, Martha Stewart. Anyway, you know, she did that line of ponchos when she was in prison. But I ain't one to gossip. You didn't hear from me. But anyway, now I am still under not a gag order, but an admonishment clause to not eat on the air anymore. You know, for 11 years, I was tearing it up because it was 8 o'clock in the morning. I was starving. You see what I mean? I see my microphone. I had to take a push pin and just dig all the food that was in. Look, there's some. I couldn't get it all. So they told me, do not eat anymore. So I set my fruit tray, which is my breakfast every morning. I'm all natural when it comes to that. Because you know why? And I'm going to say this before we get our guest in here. I'm so sick and tired. I'm tired and sick and tired of everybody going with this one. At the end of the day, that's too late. Well, it's not too late, but it's so late. At the end of the day, no, at the start of the day. What we do at the start of the day is what drives everything that is an intention due north through the day, so that when we are finally at the end of the day, we can look over our shoulder and go, you know what? Instead of eating Ruffles and some Twinkies for breakfast, I ate this. I was already great before I ate this, but because I ingested this and treated my body right, I am greater. I went from great to greater. And that's why I say this too. I stop people, even strangers. I did it yesterday in the parking lot of Costco. I said, how are you? To this, she just looked cool. And she goes, I'm good. I said, oh, don't touch me then. I hope that ain't contagious. She goes, what do you mean? I said, where's there to go from good to gooder? I did used to say that, but that was before private school. They got me right. So you don't go from good to gooder to goodest. You go from great to greater to greatest. Breathe that in. You smell that aroma? Anybody smell that? Yes. Get it in. Get it in, y'all. I'm telling you. Go from great to greater, great to greater. It takes 2 little letters, 1 E and 1 R. Do 1 act of kindness from your soul, from your heart, and you will find an E and an R over everything you touch that day and everything that touches you, because divinity works in both directions. It is never, ever, ever, never about just one thing, y'all. Never. Never about one thing. So remember this. You don't have mistakes. You have opportunities. The reason they told me this a long time ago. Dr. Loren, we don't make mistakes. We just have to do shit to keep your shit interesting. And that's true. If your journey is not interesting, why 100 years from now would the world still be interested? I'm going to let that hang out there too. Anybody smell that? It's got the aroma of purpose all over it. Just like today's guest. We have Lee here, and he wrote in the book. Oh, wait a minute. I have I thought I did. Where is it? Oh, see, I got to fix that. I can't scroll. Again, I cannot scroll. Maybe Shaquille can pop it up there. He's backstage. The book promo that I have with my face on it. Hold on. Me. I am not. Oh, never mind. My God, I sound like Louise Jefferson. George from the Jeffersons. Way back. Another reference y'all don't know nothing about. Welcome to this show. We have, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. Here we go. The title of his chapter, Mr. Lee Lovely, is The Meanings We Choose. We Are My Wings. Now think about that. You go, wait a minute, is that a typo? What does he mean by we are my wings? You're going to find out. Hang out. Share with a friend right now. Get the broadcast out. Now that I can do. I'm going to tell you right now. There it is. Share this with one person right now. The manner in which you bless, even like this, is the manner in which you will get blessed. Just like this. It works in both directions. And give and receive. And don't say, ooh, I received that, Dr. Loren. You point at that. I receive it, Dr. Loren. You point at that. Do not manifest your purposeful intentions nor your legacy pieces one syllable at a time, because you don't want to point at one thing. You want to do this. I saw Lee doing it backstage. You go, yes, exclamation point. I receive this, which means I receive all of it, from the rooter to the tutor and from the outhouse to the White House. Can I get an amen? There we go. Now, I am going to share the screen and show you. Let me get these things off the screen because I do not want you to miss not one iota. That was a grandma word. How do you spell that, by the way? Iota. I don't know. Not to be confused with Orida, the potato people. I ain't trying to get sued again. See what I'm saying? I'm on top of it. So we're going to show you something right now that you're going to love. Get ready. If you love children and if you love everything great about the age of innocence, ooh, you're going to love this. I guarantee it. Hold on now. I'm going to share the screen. I have to sing my way through things that intimidate me. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. And here we go. La, la, la. Come on, a new day. Let's dream a new day. A new day.
Hello, my name is Lee Giove. I'm the founder of My Wings, and I believe together we can dream a new day.
I spread my wings and fly. Come on, man, a new day. I spread my wings and fly.
My Wings is designed to uplift the human spirit by nurturing playfulness, self-love, and compassion.
You happy?
We have these beautiful shirts that are designed to engage imagination, activities that come with each shirt that engage creative exploration, and the Giving Wings program, which provides hope for children for a brighter tomorrow.
Come on, a new day. Let's dream a new day.
Our first collection features the Mighty Dragon, the Jungle Butterfly, Magical Fairy, and the Dancing Butterfly. Each shirt comes with a My Wings Flying Spirit card and My Wings Fun Book. These tell inspiring stories, provide guided activities, and promote positive character development. With the funds raised through this campaign, we will be able to bring to production our first collection, deliver the backer rewards, and launch the My Wings brand. Throughout this campaign and ongoing, our Giving Wings program uses the Pay It Forward model to distribute our My Wings shirts and the accompanying materials to featured organizations that serve children healing from physical and emotional traumas. Be one of the first in the world to buy a My Wings shirt for someone you love, or pay it forward, and for a discounted price, gift a shirt through our Giving Wings program. Or do both. We need you to make this My Wings dream happen. Please visit our campaign page, order now, join the My Wings team, and uplift the life of a child. Together, let's make dreams come true.
Ooh, hold on, y'all. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my. I'm letting it all just hang there for a second. Okay, there. I want to make sure they got it. Now, where are you? Wait a minute. Oh, there you are. There. I'm going to blow us up. There we go. And where am I? I don't see me. Okay. Where am I? How come you're by yourself? Say something. Say good morning. How are you?
Good. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you. I want to have some fun. They got this new layout, and I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, here, I'm going to go here. There we go.
There we go. Hey.
And
Mwah.
then I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do something else. Am I? Yes, I am. I'm going to put this back there. Okay. Nah, I'm going to put that back there. There, because I love where you're at. That's not a virtual screen, you guys. Lee is actually out in nature. Gaia, Mama, yes. Say hello to everyone. How you been?
See this? I got my feet on the grass on the ground right here beneath me.
Yes, you do, and that's true grounding.
Yep.
And true connection. Lee, what I want to do is give you, before I start all my conversation pieces, because that's what this is. It's not an interview. It's an illuminated conversation. We don't practice. We don't send out questions, but we do our best to move the purpose around the clock within the hour. So I love to give the guest, up to a minute or two to just start your own vibe from where you are with the audience. So I'm going to dip out, and I'll know when to come back in. It'll feel natural. But in the meantime, you go ahead and say hello, and I will ask you to do this. What did you wake up with today on your heart, on your soul, on your spirit that you know for a fact allows you to ease suffering? Or what just happened? Oh, Lord. Come on. I hope I'm still in there. Guess what that was? Can you hear me?
So much energy flowing through the system. Yep.
Ooh, guess what that was?
Power surge.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Kinda. You could call it that. But I always say this. When you, like, say, for instance, you remember back in the day of COVID, we would freeze on the screen. Remember that? Okay. I always said, and when I'm in a coaching call and something happens and the call drops, I always go, wait a minute. There's something afoot. Things that try to, when you're about to speak something into existence, they try to, that's those tricky monkeys. They're trying to, they can, you don't want to hear this. Go over there and get some oatmeal from the oatmeal bar. Is there such a thing? I just made that up. Anyway, that's why I always write down the very last word that was spoken when something like that happens. But everything just went off. I go, oh, we shook up the hornet's nest. That's what we did. That shows everybody this is some important things that we're talking about today. Not just important to, the shirts and whatnot, but important to your world. So listen up, lean in, because something does not want you to hear it. And that makes me more excited. I always do that. You ever had those days where you wake up, your phone didn't charge completely, you thought it did. You're walking out the door and you splash some coffee or something on your shirt. Traffic is backed up. You thought you had gas and you didn't. And I used to be the person who would get pissed off. But then I started learning as I grew. Wait a minute. Something must be in front of me today that is so wonderful that something that doesn't serve me is trying to keep me from it. And I go right to my calendar. 2 o'clock or 10 o'clock this morning, Central Standard Time, I have Lee Giove. And I know that's why it is. So thank you for the heads up. I didn't realize how important this was, but now I do. So there you go. So again, we're picking up where we left off. I'm dipping out. And you get to see what is it you do every day. Every day. It could be what we've seen, but I believe there's another thing or two. Go with it and share what it is you do that you know eases suffering somewhere in the world. All you. Take it
away. All right. Well, yeah, beautiful to be here together. And part of what I do and love to do is take breaths into my heart. And I sit out back a lot, which is where I'm at right now, backyard at my folks' house, and just connecting in with the nature, or other places where I'm at. But just taking a moment to wake up, harmonize, come into my body, connect with the earth, and get into gratitude. I've actually got a book right here, my gratitude journal. This is my current one, but I like to take some moments to feel my gratitude and reflect on the infinite blessings in my life. And I feel like that's a big, beautiful practice that I do. That's really helpful.
And you know what? I wish mine. I have a sacred journal, which is like it has a cloaking spell over it, where I write things in there. It's like a communications log with myself and everything greater than me, which is higher power, higher source, and then also my soul, who lives in the basement apartment, because that's why we say I feel it to the depths of my soul, and there I am, right in the middle, like a spiritual Oreo. And that is not some racist comment I said. I just got to see. I'm telling you what. I got to tell them all that stuff. Now, listen. You did say something. Don't get sued. I'm going to just tell you. I heard you say the magical fairy. That used to be my stage name back in the 80s.
The magical fairy?
I'm kidding.
That's funny. You know what? This is the magical fairy right here. This is the magical fairy My Wing shirt. That's what this one's called.
I love it. Tell us about the moment of inspiration.
Can you see that magical fairy right
there? Yes. I love this. I love all of this. Remember the first time you shared it with me? I got really, 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 really excited. The Larry in me, which was the boy, before I went into care, I was known as Larry, until I found out who I really was. And he used to do this all the time. And he still comes through every now and then. And that was one of those moments. So tell us, what was that moment of inspiration like when you saw it on the screen of, the imagination? Poof, when you go, and the universe hits the remote. And there it is. That's how everything got to this world, through that screen known as our imagination. And you help children imagine. They help us imagine because they do it naturally. Talk about that if you could.
Well, yeah, it's really a combination of moments building together, but the moment when it actually like came to me, I was hanging out with a really dear friend of mine. I call her my dream teammate, Tatiana. Okay. We were hanging out in the redwood forest down in Santa Cruz area.
Well, that helps.
There was some squirrel or yep, there was some squirrel chirping around over, and then it was the download came to create shirts with wings for people for children, and have accompanying materials go with it to help develop their confidence and self-esteem and imagination, creativity. But it's really it's a because I was also a children's music teacher at the time. And there was a point in the classes where I'd pass out scarves and then put on some music and we'd do a free dance. And the children, they would, even some of the shy ones, sometimes they'd flip the scarves over and start flying around the room. And I could see this transformation that as they became these, the dragons or the butterflies or the fairies flying around, I saw this power come through them. And so that was a really significant, it really touched me to see that. And then pretty soon after that, I started doing some of my first international traveling, and came into some situations where I saw, really for the first time in my life, children on the street and begging, or just in situations that I'd never seen myself in person. And it was really heartbreaking. And I wanted to do something to help them. I didn't have a lot of, well, I didn't have really money to offer at that time
Yeah.
to them, but in my heart, I just felt I want to do something to help children um, connect with that power and freedom that is within them. No matter what situation that they're in, and then that Redwood Moments was when it kind of clicked in, and I was hanging out with my friend, and there was came together.
Now the redwood forest, right? That's where those big giant trees are.
Yes.
So you see, that's a sacred space.
Mm.
It does not surprise me at all. I would expect it. Something amazing to happen on that soil. It's like Sedona, Arizona. Have you ever been there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I stayed once when I was in the Air Force at a place called Christopher Creek, which is adjacent. And I was sitting out on Christopher Creek. It was right behind the little cottage I had rented. And there was these big giant rocks. And my two buddies, we were each had our own rock. And there was a full moon, and you could hear all the nature. And I said it, and it's in my will. My husband knows that he's got it written down because I want my little ashes spread somewhere. And I said to them that night, if I should go and we're still friends or whatever, if you want to spend a little bit more time with me before I completely figure over into whatever form I take next, come here. Why are we? Okay, that was weird. See, there it is again. It was buffering. See, I told you, come here and you will find me. It was that, and I was 22 years old then. Now I'm almost 64. I almost lied and said 46. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 44.
That's my angel number. 444. 44. Ooh.
Hey.
Okay. No wonder
Like
it's so
bell.
powerful up in here today. There you go. That's the bell of purpose. Look, it's a real thing. Look, it's got an engraving. The bell of purpose.
Nice.
And
nice.
Right. You know why I ring it, Lee? I ring it when there's some truth on the table because the truth has a ring to it.
Mm.
It's all about frequency and energy. Now you know this. Now see what you're doing right now, your breath work, and I noticed backstage. I saw you. You as soon as something comes through, you grab it. I receive this. Talk about the practices that you have in place and then take it into, I want to talk too about, because I don't want to get too far away, because you guys, I'm going to leave that scrolling the entire time because I'd like you guys to donate. If you're on the replay 2 years from now, it'll still be out there. Do it because they will still be out there. They need your help, and we need to help kids become even bigger kids because I still have a kid in me. I got toys all over this place, right? And I believe that play is healing. I really do. So tell everybody about that and also your flight school.
Yeah. Well, you were asking about some of my practices, and
Yes.
something that I've been into for 25 years now is yoga. And I've been practicing yoga. I've done some yoga teacher trainings. Actually met my wife at a yoga teacher training out in Thailand. Now we have twin boys. So they're 11 now. Also on the playing side of things. Definitely a lot of playing with them. But yeah, breath work, meditation, connecting with nature, celebrating with friends, music, stretching, qigong. So those are some of the practices, and then mindset training. I study with some different coaches, particularly quite a lot with Bob Proctor's lineage. I'm doing a mentorship program with his son right now, which is really amazing, and the community around it, just to keep my mind in the place where I like it to be, the greater places and spaces.
That's right. That's right.
So connecting and breathing. And so with that, it's been important for me because throughout life, I feel like, well, I'm sensitive, and it can be, I can get pushed or like moved off of my center, stressed about things or feeling overwhelmed at times. And for me, having these practices that help me center and just reconnect with my infinite divine essence, with the power and just
Yes.
peacefulness within
Yes.
me.
Yes.
It's been really well, just I think it's part of why I'm here today.
You know, I'm gonna jump in and say this because you guys, that is the key. That was the piece that I was missing for a long time, the practice part. I mean, I had let the knowledge see when you don't know better, you're ignorant, which means you're innocent. Okay, you're not, you can't. How do you know what you don't know? You don't know, right? But once you know, there is a universal, a sacred responsibility to do better because everything that builds us and grows us, you all, is based on a need to know because it's time to grow bases. And that's usually through some type of pain, some type of hurt. Why do you think they're called growing pains and not growing tickles? To stand out. And when you grow, you have boys. Don't you have that place in your house where you mark their growth? Where they put their back against the wall and you mark it with a pencil or something. Remember that growing up?
Yeah.
I do. So the minute you feel pain, get to the wall because Source has already marked it. We come up looking like I'm this tall, 5'6" or whatever. I'm looking right here. Did I grow how much? But then you'll see that Spirit has already marked way up there because you have grown before we even realize it. See? So I love that about it. And I was not using it. I had let the techniques get dusty, if you will. And that's not good. So talk about how long did it take for you to fold them into your spiritual batter to come out with the cake that is sitting here today?
Well, I mean, it's definitely been a journey, but I mean, it's just something that I've been developing, over.
But what I mean
years.
is, see, you know how we don't sometimes those things that make us lose it. It's not like they just casually stroll. How you doing? They come running, bam, blindsided. And I could have been talking like this, and then 5 minutes later, cussing up a storm. Matter of fact, this show came about because I stubbed. You guys have heard this story many times. I thought I broke my pinky toe off. Got it caught on a dining room table chair. I was scared to look. I thought it was going that way. Like dislocated. I was like, I cussed for 9 hours. And I was in the driveway and still in my bathrobe holding this very mug. And I remember I heard Spirit say, Loren, what if this had been your last day? All the people you talked to today, you bitched and complained about that toe, which is perfectly fine now. Go soak it in some Epsom salt. But what if it had been? This would have been the last thing they would have said they heard from you. I said, well, how can I do better? Well, get up tomorrow and go live and replace this with something better. That's when the ER thing came in. I said, but I don't know how to do it live. Well, what do you have on? My robe. What are you holding? My cup, my coffee cup. They said, well, open up your live and call it Bathrobe Moments. And here we are nearly 12 years later. So you see, I'm just saying, you see, even when we don't know how to do better, what is greater than us knows how to put better on top of us, around us, beneath us, beside us. It will be with you, no matter where you go and how you get there. So, Lee, you are absolutely on point with that. So, I want to ask you this. I saw in some of the stuff that you gave me, you said that you believe in framing and empowering perspectives and community building, lifting each other up, shining our brightest so we can lift each other higher. So, when you say each other, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about everybody, all of our relations, the one big family that we are, and I really feel like mankind, the animals, the plants. I really feel like when we're in touch with our own spirit and loving, and we can cultivate, and when we do cultivate that kindness and compassion and joyfulness toward ourselves, and it's here, then we naturally that overflows to others, and I feel like that's and that care and treating others with that kindness and love too.
I believe, and I receive this. I was going to use that. Okay, SFX stands for sound effects. In 3, 2, 1. Come on, 3, 2, 1. Did you hear that?
I heard I don't know, I heard the
It was
was
a
it that or
gong.
something?
It was a
Oh, I
gong.
didn't hear that. No, I didn't hear the gong.
Yeah, it was a gong I hit here.
Oh,
You guys
nice.
heard it out there. Now,
All right.
you mentioned something. I want you to explain because a lot of people hear things. They go, "What is that?" And I remember when I first heard it because Sean Jones Healing, hello Sean, he's one of my coaching clients, introduced me to the concept of qigong. Can you just put a little light on that so people can understand? They might want to go out and check it out. What is it, and what does it supposedly do for us?
Yeah, well, qigong is a way of basically moving energy through your body and mind, and kind of consciously moving it through different movements, connecting with your breath. There's different ways of moving and moving the energy through, and there's different types of qigong. But yeah, it's a way to really open yourself up and get your energy body opened up, and a way to increase your health and vitality. And yeah, it's awesome stuff.
You know what I just thought of? My mom, girl, you're so crazy. My mom, God rest her soul, she had her heavenly birthday back on June 4th. She would have been 95 years old. And we met each other for the second time because she birthed me. But we met each other for the second time when I was 32 years old. And I could just hear her. I just heard her say, "Is he the same? Is he what you would call a modern day hippie?" You know, because, now let's talk about that for just a second. What do people perceive you to be when they see you doing all these things? Are they like, oh, you know,
Yeah, probably depends on when they catch me, what I'm doing. But I mean, I'm right now. I'm getting to teach some of this at a studio here locally. So it's I do like teaching some breath and sound healing. I mentioned earlier,
sound
music is
healing? Yes.
something that I'm really passionate about and explored. I actually made a documentary film on it back in college, and but yeah, probably some people think I'm little yeah. I mean, but I think it's good, that they can see
I do too, because it gets right.
It's like
You know why? I'm gonna tell you something real quick, just about him, because I know that's kind of a where do I go with this kind of question. But the reason I brought it up was because what I love is because you're 1,000% unapologetic. You don't have a shared custody agreement with the things you know to be true. And so many of us, do you remember how many masks you used to wear? Or maybe you currently do? I do. And it was just torturous. The spirit broke me of it because I had a reoccurring dream where I was in a checkout at a grocery store, and every time I put something on the conveyor belt, I looked back, there was somebody from a different face of my life. And they were all looking at you. Ain't that the woman from church? Ain't that the people I was smoking weed with last night? Ain't that and I was like afraid that they would all talk to each other and realize they all knew a different version of me. And so that's what I salute with what you do. So that's where I was going with that, people. Check your mask closet because you don't need to wear them. Just be who you are. It's called transparency, authenticity, and just keeping it real, as the kids would say. So now I want to pivot I want to go back to those shirts. Who designs those? And did you know Teresa, who she'll be here tomorrow, Teresa Lawrence, and also Linda Sunshine West, talking about the book and all these wonderful authors, because we're going to segue. We're going to take a short break for a commercial, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the book. And also we have an excerpt that we took ourselves from your chapter that I want to read to the folks and ask what you is really powerful, really powerful. But did you know Teresa? I mean, because she has the Trueness Project, butterflies everywhere, right?
Right.
And then she finds you. Who found who? The chicken or the egg?
Well, yeah. Well, I reached out to her. I had a friend of mine messaged me. A really good friend of mine messaged me and said I needed to look at what she was doing. It was the Grand Butterfly Gathering coming up. And this was the last year's gathering. And as it was approaching, and I reached out to Teresa, and I was like, it was this instant, connection, like soul family. It was like, hey, telling her about the shirts that that I
Love 'em.
make, and we planted some beautiful seeds together, and I ended up sending out 20 of the My Wing shirts for the butterfly gathering last year, and she got to pass those out, and I was on her podcast as well, and so
Awesome.
we met this last year, and
That's amazing.
beautiful
That's so,
connection, and that's actually something that I write. Well, I think it ended up in the chapter. There was a few revisions that I made, and I had to, leave some parts out. But I do touch on it. But it's just how, as you are on your purpose,
yeah.
you meet, or I've been, as I step more and more into it, it's been amazing how much, I meet people, and the things that we are passionate about, or our missions and our purposeful expressions, synergize with each other.
Mhm.
And like, with what she's doing, for example, with the butterflies and all the, the transformation, and the joyfulness that she's spreading,
Yes,
putting
yes,
on
yes.
the butterfly gathering, and the shirts that I make with butterfly wings. And it's like how those, come together to synergize and amplify the beautiful ripple effects of those.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, there's your friend. See?
Hey,
Yes, yes, yes,
Benjamin. I
yes,
love you, brother.
yes. And Robert Booker from Canada, how you doing, my man? How you doing? Um, I just I got to ask, because we want people to donate and support, but let's tell them so that they understand the depth of the need. The shirts are beautiful, and I know the kids. You know how kids are, especially if you have daughters and they got the little princess skirts and stuff. And I love seeing them at the grocery store. I'm like, "Are you a real life princess?" They always go, "Yes." And I was like, "I knew it, I knew it," and they just love it. So talk about the cost, because we want people to understand, do I need to buy 10? Do I need to buy 5? What does it take for you to cover the cost and then also have something to help spread the word even further? Go ahead and talk to everybody about that for a second, if you would.
So, do you mean the cost of purchasing a shirt, or?
Just the cost of having it available, and
Uh
then you have a retail,
huh.
because a lot of people don't understand nonprofit. It means nonprofit, but it doesn't mean we don't need to be able to raise funds to keep it going. I used to do
Right.
nonprofit fundraising for 25 years, and most of it was because the nonprofit didn't know how to keep it viable and understandable and relative and relatable to the people who were moving closer and closer to having money in their pockets. Most kids start deciding at middle school, around 8th grade, where they're going to place their give dollars when they're adults, how their philanthropic pieces will be placed on the board. I found that very interesting when I first heard that, but it is true. So talk about that. Is it easy as you make it look, or do we really need to get in there and sign up for your mailing list and find out how we can help? I know
Oh,
the answer.
yeah. No, definitely that. I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot of pieces, and yeah. So there's because we have the Gift of Wings program, and that is really the component of the business where we donate shirts, and we're able to provide these for as donations to organizations that work with children who've been through more challenging, different kinds of challenging situations, and they can use this as a type of play therapy tool. And so part of what we do is we bring that into the business model, so that a portion of the purchases,
Mhm.
regular kind of general market purchases, goes toward being able to fund the donation of these to the organizations. And then
Okay.
also, other times we do different kinds of drives like crowdfunding, or sponsorships, where we can get these
Yeah, corporate and
funds
whatnot.
together. Corporate.
Absolutely. Schools, private groups, Girl Scouts, brownies, all kinds of things. A lot of churches have youth programs and things like that. I can't wait to really get with you I know you won't be making it to Jackson because you'll be traveling internationally, but you and I are going to get together because I want to get this to as many people on my list because, you know, I have one that serves a little older from 12 to like 24, the Power of We Symposium. But a lot of the people that have sponsored and helped us over the years would love to help you as well. And we're going to help you do that. You guys, we have a lot more show coming up within the next 15 minutes. So don't you dare go away. When we return, we're going to listen to a little reading from Lee's chapter in the book entitled The Meanings We Choose. We Are My Wings. Listen, don't you dare go away. We'll be right back. Hey there, my friends. It's Dr. Loren, and I want to personally invite you to take a look at something very special. Bathrobe Moments is back, y'all. That's right. And as we step into this new chapter, I'm seeking bold, purpose-driven voices, real voices who are ready to share something real. Now, it doesn't have to be perfection. No, it doesn't need to be a performance. But it does need to be your truth. If you have a story that can help someone heal, grow, rise, live life just a little bit differently, better, then that is what we are looking for. And this could very well be your moment. So now remember, you don't have to be famous. You just have to be real, ready and willing to share from your heart. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, you can get behind this, then we want you to DM us right here. And someone from the team is going to reach out and we're going to see if this moment, because the door's open, and who knows, this moment, well, it very well might be yours. Let's see. Welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. We're here with Lee Giove. There he is. And so you're going to probably blush as I read this, but I have a little piece, an excerpt, if you will, from your chapter entitled The Meanings We Choose, We Are My Wings, from the book, the wonderful book, and you're going to hear more about it. We're going to give away some in the next couple of weeks, so make sure you're here every day. You could be the one walking away with your own copy, and I will take your copies with me to Jackson Hole to get them signed by as many authors that are in-house that weekend. So here we go. I moved in. It goes, here's the piece. Sit back. Remember this part in grade school when you sit in a semicircle Indian style and the teacher would do it and then they turn the book around with the pictures and show you, oh, story time. Story time, kids, gather around. So Lee says, as a child, I remember times when my parents would argue and sometimes discipline me and my brothers. I was never in danger, but as the oldest child and from my limited perspective, I internalized those moments in ways never intended by my parents. I began to believe that I was the cause of the tension in our home and that I had ruined my parents' lives simply by being born. I carried feelings of guilt, sadness, and anger. There were times when I felt helpless, that I couldn't stop what was happening around me or protect myself or my younger brothers. And at times I even turned that pain inward, physically hurting myself and wishing I had never been born. At times, I wanted to escape and leave life behind. I began to rewrite those meanings. I was not the cause of my parents' struggles. I was not a mistake. I was not helpless, and my life was not a disruption, but part of something meaningful, full of meaning. That I was a big part of what brought that love story into continued motion. And as these meanings shifted, so did my relationship with myself. What once felt heavy became something I could learn from, and what once felt like limitation and suffering began to reveal itself as a source of strength and direction. And that wasn't just a complete, immediate shift. It was something I had to practice. Catching the old thoughts as they arose, questioning them, choosing something different, over and over again. Over time, those new meanings didn't just feel like ideas, they began to feel true. And that shift didn't just change how I saw my past. It began to shape what I felt called to create moving forward. In many ways, my wings were born from that transformation. That's why they're called growing pains and not growing tickles. I just get chills. And so you see how it all kind of tied in, everything we spoke about today. And I just, as we move into the last few minutes, we have about 8 minutes left of the show. Um, how did that make you feel hearing it come from the reader? See, it's one thing when we give our books to people and they say, "Oh, I read it, I loved it, la la la." But the speak that I chose that because it spoke to me. It resonated with me. I carried those exact same. I thought I was the purpose. My adopted mother had died. I killed her. What did I do wrong? I'm a bad kid, until I met the other kids, and I saw that my story was nowhere near as painful as most of the others that I heard, and it began to change. So just I'm gonna give you a moment. Talk about that if you could. How that makes you feel now, hearing it come back to you.
It feels like I feel grateful that my sharing of my story is something that you can read and relate with and feel touched by, and see that there's a message in that can help you and help maybe recognize something that you've been through or something that you can grow with that can help improve your life. And yeah, it's beautiful to hear it because there's a lot there. There's a lot of emotion in that, and it's a sensitive topic, you know.
It really is. And I just want to hats off to you and celebrate you, give you your flowers right now, because I know personally how difficult that can be to share those things. Because a lot of us, and you mentioned, your other brothers, your younger brothers, a lot of people. I had a lot of pushback from siblings and things when I started sharing all of the truths about my journey, because even when people have passed on, oftentimes people are like, "How can you say that about her or him?" And this and the other. But you cannot hold back. It must be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you who. And a lot of us say, well, God this and God that. But you know what? Scripture says, in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God. And the Word was in God. That's how you can say, let there be light. So our word and the words that we use to speak our truth can only be grouted down for the world to walk on hundreds of years from now, can only be grouted in to seal our messages within those hallways of history by being the truth, the only thing that never changes and will never change on us. So I applaud you. And I just wanted everyone to understand that is why it is so important. It is necessary, right? So what do you have coming up? And
Yeah,
I have
one other little piece about that. If we
put it in there.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, just speaking of that, sharing your story, it being sensitive.
Yes.
My parents, I'm talking a bit about that, and
Yeah.
even as I was writing the chapter and knowing that it's going to be shared, it felt important for me to speak and share my truth, but also that in a way that felt honoring of them and of their how they receive it, or experience it. So um, so we got to actually talk about that too. And I have an amazing relationship there. My parents are absolutely just amazing, incredible beings. And something that they told me, when they read that, they were like, "Oh my gosh!" Like I don't think they really fully understood my experience as a child, and um, they felt some like hearing that in my story stirred them up a bit. It stirred up something in them, and they both just told me You know, you were never not wanted. You were only wanted and loved. And my parents were 19 when I was born, and
yeah, I read
I mean,
that.
just, you know, I have
Kids.
but you know, you just, you know, have your perspective sometimes, and it can change. And anyway, but
And it should.
And
Or how
so
have
with
we
you,
evolved? Right.
so with you reading that and having your interpretation of it, it just feels it does feel nice to hear that it's relatable in a
And that it touched me.
someone reading it, and that
It really did. It reminded me of where it began, and it replenished me because of where I'm at, and it felt totally resplendent because it lit the path of where I still hope to go in this life. So whenever you have something and you say, I received this, it is because you acknowledge the past from where you are, and it illuminates the path of where you're going. And that is purpose. There it is, folks. So, Lee, I'm telling you, I'm so thrilled. I want to thank you. You guys, there it is. Lee at my-wings.com. Get over. We're going to take the liberty of dropping this in the show notes on the Bathrobe Moments Facebook page, also on our website and on our YouTube channel for easy access. You'll also find the other link that was provided today so that you can get over, make your donations, and just support this wonderful, 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 wonderful endeavor. And I wish you safe travels, my friend, to Sweden and back. And let's connect when you have some time and see what we can do next. How's that sound?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me today. It's been a joy meeting you. And
same here. Yes. I received this, and I want you to hang out for a couple minutes backstage, if you will, so I can say a proper goodbye. And in the meantime, you guys, I wanted to remind you, come in tomorrow. There they are. We are featuring M. Teresa Lawrence. She's the founder of the Trueness Project, as well as Linda Sunshine West, the founder and CEO of Action Takers Publishing, where this book was put together and put out for your consumption. We don't just talk about change around here. We step into it and we do it together. So that's tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central on Wednesday, the 10th, 10 at 10 tomorrow. So please come on back. And I just want to say thank you for that. I honor you. Say hello to your lovely wife and those kiddos of yours. When you got your hand full with two twin boys. You're twins. Remember when I got you about that and I came back and got me? Listen, you guys, get out of here. Have the best day ever. Remember that Dr. Loren absolutely, he loves you. I love you. I mean it. And guess what? There ain't a damn thing you can do about it. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. on our next installment of Bathrobe Moments. Make it an impeccable day. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Lee. Great job.
Thank you.
Before you get it, baby. Show me your soul.